From the beautiful new Legacy Park here in Northside Lethbridge, I'm Carmen Strike, and this is another edition of Community Producers. The Community Producers features stories and segments from local producers across Southern Alberta. In this first segment, submitted by the Lethbridge School District, they show us a brand new playground for the students and community of Park Meadow School.
Mark Blankenstein. I'm the principal at Park Meadow School, and we are just so super excited today to reveal to our school, our staff, our students, our community, and really the whole north side of Lethbridge, this all-inclusive, all-accessible playground. It started as a vision from a student from the ground up saying, "Oh, I really want to play with all friends, all kids from all walks of life. Can we get an idea going to build an all-inclusive park?" And from that, which was only just over 2 years ago, a lot of help from kids' piggy banks, provincial, municipal, and local grants, business donations, we were able to get this project from about 2.5 years to now a $400,000 all-inclusive park. And we have so many people to thank, people like Evelyn Yakaluk from Kiwanis Club of Green Acres who helped us get the grants, as well as Nancy Brown, our former principal that's moved on, that just was so inspirational in getting the idea off the ground and just getting people excited, particularly our students. And we want to say a big thanks to our parent council and our students that just caught the fire and said, "We believe in this, we're not giving up until it's all over," and now our kids get to play on a great old park, great new park, I should say. The kids were able to vote on certain pieces and be really excited about pieces that they thought would really work for them, as well as pieces that were great for other kids that have limited mobility. And then we got businesses to fundraise and donate either time or money or prizes to help out with the park, and that kind of started through there. And many of the grants really helped us through the all-accessible park for the flooring and the rubberized surface. I hope it continues the vision of all inclusion, and the park's name is the Playground of Caring, which was thought up by one student in grade 3. All the students voted on it and liked that one the best. I hope that vision of all-inclusive and the Playground of Caring continues, because that's a motto we believe here at Park Meadows of take care of yourself, take care of others, and take care of the building around you. So that's kind of our vision here at school.
Up next, Skylar Plord from the Lethbridge Animal Shelter brings us this month's edition of Pet Talk.
I'm Officer Skylar Plord with Lethbridge Animal Services, and you're watching Pet Talk on Community Producers. In this edition, we're going to visit with 3 adoptable dogs from the animal shelter. We're also going to talk about the use of off-leash parks within the city of Lethbridge. This is Falcon. Falcon is a 12-month-old mixed breed who was found in the county of Lethbridge and never claimed. She will be available for adoption. She has been spayed, microchipped, and vaccinated. Falcon is an explosive ball of energy, and she'll definitely need some obedience training and a strong leader in her new forever home. Tango is a sweet boy who was found as a stray and turned into the animal shelter. He has not been claimed, and he's now been microchipped, vaccinated, and neutered. He is looking for a loving forever home. Tango is very affectionate and loves to cuddle. Silo is a mixed breed dog that was found in the Lethbridge County at the end of June and turned into the animal shelter. Silo will pull you in with his big puppy dog eyes. He's super adventurous, but he will need some basic training. Silo has been neutered, microchipped, and vaccinated, and is looking for a loving forever home. If you're interested in adopting any of the animals that have been featured on this segment, or any of the adoptable pets at the shelter, you can check us out on Facebook at Lethbridge Animal Services. You can stop by the shelter anytime we're open, or give us a call at 403-320-4099. And don't forget, you can share our photos and videos and the stories of our adoptable pets on your social media accounts using the hashtag #OptToAdoptYQL. Pet owners have access to 4 beautiful off-leash areas within the city of Lethbridge. When using these off-leash dog areas, it's important to remember to be responsible. Although you're not required to use a leash, it is important to keep your dog under control at all times. Of course, we need to make sure we pick up after the dog when it does its business, so we're not spreading disease to other pets. And of course, be courteous to other users, as it may be their first time or their animal might be nervous. If it is your first time using an off-leash park, please ensure that you have control of your dog through a leash or voice controls. If you experience any issues at the off-leash park, please report it to Animal Services at 403-320-4099. 4099 so we can ensure everybody can have fun and be safe at these off-leash parks.
In this next segment, produced by Exhibition Park, we go on a tour of the Sunny Rose Cheese Factory and see how different cheeses are made.
When we think of cheese, we picture it like this. But how does it get to this point? Well, we all know it begins with a cow, right? But how does it get from here to here? We visited Crystal Springs Farm where they make cheese every day and found out it's quite a big process.
You can make it in a day, and usually the packaging is done the next day. Our cheddar, Gouda, and Havarti is, the main part of it is done within the first 6 hours, and then after that it's more salting and curing and putting wax on and things like that.
This is Yakko Breyer, who showed us how it was all done. Breyer's day begins at 5 a.m.
I'll come in the morning, I'll sanitize everything, get everything ready, start up my pasteurizer, and it starts pasteurizing milk into the vat. As soon as it starts filling, then I put the culture in.
As you may have guessed, the process begins with milk.
So these are our milk holding tanks. So just the face is inside and the rest is standing outside, and they're insulated tanks. And this is where the raw milk comes in from the milk tanker from our own farm. So that's a very simple process. It just gets put, the milk goes in the tank, milk gets heated, milk gets held at a certain temperature, and then it gets cooled, cultured, and drained into containers, and then it's ready to go.
Breyer's farm makes 5 different types of cheeses.
Feta cheese is our main one, and then we do Gouda, cheddar, Havarti, and goat cheese.
But right now, we're going to focus on feta and cheddar.
For feta cheese, you could, within 2 weeks of being made, it could be in stores. So now we give it a few stirrings over the next 20 minutes, and then it's going to be ready to take out. Every time I stir it, a little bit more weight comes off, and the curds shrink a bit more. A regular feta is about 22% milk fat, and this one here is 14. You can tell they're ready to start scooping off. So they're not really square anymore. This has got to be all scooped out by hand. We'll put them in pails, and they actually end up in grocery stores. We don't do it ourselves, but we send them to another place, and they cut them down into slices, put them in containers with brine, and then they end up on the shelves in the stores.
Now onto the cheddar cheese curd.
A cheddar I cut at a half an hour. So it's like a semi-firm gel, right? Nice. When you cut it with a knife, a sharp knife, you'll get a slit in there, and it'll break evenly. And this cheddar right now, I'm just waiting for I'm waiting for this pH to drop low enough so I can start milling. This one takes the pH. We're measuring acidity right now. So once we get down to 525, we're ready to make some curd. We're going to go from cheese slabs to cheese curds. Our cheese curds are a big hit. We do all kinds of flavors on them too. We do Cajun, dill, roasted red pepper and garlic, Greek, Italian, so it's just a dry rub flavor that we put on.
Next, it's time to bag it up and take a bite.
Hi, I'm Walter Cooper. I'm the apprentice coordinator with Local 725.
And I'm Corey Gahalka. I am the trainer for the 10 weeks that the kids are in this program.
So to summarize what has happened in the last 10 weeks, we've done first off safety training, that's the most important with us, and then we got into some welding fabrication. What else?
We did obviously some structural steel, put up a building with them. We did the rebar section with them, so that's 3 weeks with that. Just getting them to use their hands and kind of learn how to build everything.
With the rebar, we did a wind simulation of a wind turbine. The rebar underneath what's actually underneath the wind turbine, and of course safety throughout is important, and also we're able to get them high school credits as well.
The knowledge you come out here with and the safety tickets, it's huge. It's transferable anywhere. employers look at that on your resume and they're just amazed at what these kids come out of high school with.
They learn a lot about teamwork and a lot about the importance of showing up every day and being on time and their punctuality, which once that transfers into industry and they get out in the real world and start finding jobs or go to university, they're going to have to be on time and punctual because it won't last long otherwise. So that was one big lesson that we like to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the accountability for what you do. If you're like an employer, you're going to university, like Oakley was saying there, you got to be on time. You have to be ready to work. You got to be ready to, be able to go through your day, stay sober, and just, work hard.
If you're interested in the program, I believe you talk to your career practitioner at your school, or whoever represents you that way, and of course, career transitions is another definite avenue that will help you get it hooked up with us.
I'm Alyssa Hobbs. I'm from LCI High School, and here in the ironworking program, we've been learning how to weld and how to tie knots, and stuff like high-angle rescue. We built a structure outside with a crane. The experience is amazing, like everything that we've learned, and it's all hands-on, and you get to actually do it yourself and learn how to, all the little tweaks and skills, and it's just amazing, how hands-on you are, and the instructors are right there when you need them, and they're right there to answer any questions and show you kind of a different technique if you're struggling, or it's awesome.
My name is Austin Guzzi, and I go to Manuel Christian High School. I learned work ethic, showing up to work on time, welding, tying rebar. I was thinking about doing structural, but I'm gonna get my apprentice for rebar first, and get into structural and get my apprentice for that.
Gavin Fisher, I go to Victoria Park High School in Lethbridge, and I'm currently in the Ironworks training program to become an ironworker, and it's an amazing program. You learn lots in very minimal time. It's a 10-week program. Before I got into this, I wanted to be a welder. I was living up in Calgary, and then I heard about this program and heard there was welding within it, and so I took the opportunity and I absolutely love it, and then I got a job welding out of it, so I got my career path all set. It's just an awesome time. You learn so much in very little time. I'd go home and tell my mom about all the stuff I learned, and she's just like, isn't it crazy how much you learn in one day? And it really is. These guys that teach us, they're amazing people, and you learn lots, and they teach you the best ways, but safety's always number one, of course.
My name is Joseph Eppert. I'm from Chinook High School. We're at Ironworkers Local 725. And this program's an awesome program. It's a good way to catch up on credits. Good way to learn new skills and work with the team. I didn't really know what I was going to be doing for a long time until I found this program, and I think this might actually be a career. If you love working with your hands and you actually want to find something you're passionate about, at the end of the day, if you get a good day's work in and you put it in hard work, you're going to be proud of yourself. It's an automatic confidence booster. You'll feel a lot better about yourself and come home and you'll be proud. And if you don't have that now, this is something that's possibly for you. You can go anywhere from here. You don't even have to be an iron worker. You can go and do millwright. Like they were saying, that they have millwrights that were working from them last year. And there's a whole bunch of stuff you can take it to. Any trade you can do.
My name is Ty McCard. I go to Winston Churchill High School. We did all the safety courses, so we got to do all of our tickets. And that's a big bonus out of this program, is getting those safety tickets. And it's been a really learning curve in my life. It's a lot different from school. You get to do a lot of hands-on stuff, which is what I like to do.
I'm Cody Marshuk. I go to Lethbridge Police Institute, which is LCI. This program, the Ironwork program, Local 725, is absolutely amazing. Great people. You get all these tickets for free. It gets you job opportunities, communication skills, welding skills, all of the above, curtain walling, structural building, rebar tying. It's a great opportunity. Amazing. And I love working with the people around here. So I'm very hoping to get a job with this local 725, but you get all these tickets, which not, and it leaves you eligible for every trade out there pretty much. So that's a great opportunity. Big thanks to local 725. I would definitely recommend going into it. And you just learn so much, and the people around here are great, and it's just a great community to be in.
The University of Lethbridge was recently granted a large collection of rare works of art. In these next segments, we'll look at that collection of Dr. Margaret Perkins Hess.
So I've known Marmee for many, many years. I consider her a good friend and someone I looked up to a great deal. She was a very proud individual, would in many ways, I think, be considered a pioneer in her life. An exceptional individual. She was a strong proponent of women's rights, was a great volunteer within the community. She passed at 100 years old just after her 100th birthday in September of 2016. Really a remarkable individual.
But she was one of those people who are, you just know she's her own person. I would call her feisty.
Yes.
And she did things that very few women of her age and circumstances did in those times. So she was outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, Marmee is a person that, was born in the house that she grew up in, that she actually passed away in. She lived in that house for 100 years plus. Her parents moved to Alberta from the US for her dad to open a lumber yard. And her dad became a very successful businessman in Calgary. And during that time, Marmee grew up as an only child who was treated to some amazing experiences on the family ranch in downtown Calgary, but of course grew up to love the arts and be committed to the arts.
There's no question that she loved both two-dimensional and three-dimensional art. She thought of it as a tool in terms of education. She thought of it as not only a collector, and its appreciation. Never really thought, or did she speak about it from a value standpoint. She loved things beautiful. She loved landscape, especially Western Canada landscape and Ontario landscape. She loved First Nations, Aboriginal people. She had extraordinary collections of both primitive Inuit art, some African art, some exceptional West Coast art.
Marmee really stood out and was unusual in that she was so genuinely interested in Indigenous people and Indigenous artists, that she really connected with Inuit artists and connected also with artists on the Northwest Coast. When I started here 17 years ago, I remember quite early on attending some kind of donor event and getting to meet Marmee for the first time, and that I was just absolutely blown away. I mean, at the time she was in her 80s, and she was just such an interesting person. I mean, I really enjoyed getting to spend an evening and talking to her. She was just such a passionate and incredibly well-informed art collector. She spent a great deal of time with A.Y. Jackson, who's one of the members of the Group of Seven, and so that she could actually talk firsthand about artists who I only know from seeing their work or from reading about them in books.
I don't think that Marmee ever saw herself as a collector, but I think what she really saw herself as was a steward, someone who would hold that art, care for it, share it at the appropriate time so that it had the benefit for generations in the future from an educational and a research standpoint and for the enjoyment of the general public.
Part of the process with this gift, the university will rename the main gallery space. It will be renamed for Marmee, so it'll be the Dr. Margaret Marmee Perkins Hess Art Gallery. And that'll be a really important way to honor the legacy of this extraordinary gift.
Well, I have to say I'm just so very excited that the gallery will be named after Marmee Hess. Marmee is such a significant figure in Calgary and in Alberta and beyond. And her commitment to public education, her commitment to art and culture, but also her commitment to community are the foundations that this university is built on. To have the art gallery named after her really brings those important concepts together. And I think over time, as people get to know Marmee through the naming, people will come to understand what a tremendous impact she had, not only on the University of Lethbridge, of course, but also on Alberta and on culture in Canada.
The gift of art from Marmee, there is over 1,000 works of art coming to the University of Lethbridge. It's incredibly diverse. The bulk of the work is Canadian, so Canadians of European heritage, but at least 400 of the works are by Indigenous artists. We have an exceptionally high commitment to research and also to public access and public programming. And so our collection is very much integrated with student learning and with research and scholarship.
She was a very, very private individual. Very few people saw her art throughout her life. But one of the things that she was very, very clear about at the end of her life was that all of this art be on display and enjoyed to be used for research and education and the enjoyment of the general public.
I think Marmee Hess must have had confidence in the University of Lethbridge art collection, in the administrators of the collection, to decide that this is where she was going to leave much of her work that she had collected.
Well, I think there's a lot of value in having the collection here because it's another tool for the university to have to communicate and contribute to the community. The gift being here in Lethbridge, it allow other people to look at the best.
What stood out about the collection, the first thing, of course, is just the sheer volume of items that she had collected over the years. It's a wonderful thing that the collection is staying here in Alberta and going to the university collection. An outstanding collection to begin with, and this is a great addition to it. The university should be proud of the collection that they received.
One of the things that's really exciting about this collection coming to the University of Lethbridge is how it will give our students a chance to engage with the works. This collection is really going to change our students' knowledge. It will allow our students to learn about Canadian art. It will allow scholars to learn about artists that maybe have been under-recognized. There are Tom Thompsons and Emily Carrs in the gift, but there are also works that maybe many of us aren't as familiar with. It will allow us to do new research that will improve the reputation of some of these lesser-known artists.
This gift is really exciting for students at the university because it has such a range of artworks. We get to, as students, interact directly with this art.
It will make this a major addition to be able to put on the exhibitions and provide the access to these works, to be able to, to work on their care, but also the research around them as we move forward, and their ability that they'll have to support both teaching and research here at the University of Lethbridge. I'm just incredibly honored that this extraordinary art collection is coming to the University of Lethbridge. It's an honor that we've been entrusted with the care of these important works of art. They're important certainly for people who live in Alberta, but important for all Canadians as well.
welcome to another episode on energy healing. I'm Kim Brigitzer. Past experiences are deeply rooted at a subconscious level and are preventing us from living the life we want to live. Our feelings are the best pointer to internal injuries and blockages. Often we go into resistance with our emotions, problems, or issues. This resistance can be perceived as stressful and restricting, and we feel negative thoughts and distortions within our body. Just pay attention to any emotional, mental, or physical issue that restricts you in life and prevents you from being happy. An energy healing session can help reduce the effects of stress on our physical and emotional well-being, allowing us to live life with more ease and enjoyment. With an N-Light session, you can feel the power of presence. In the process of the session, I provide silent presence to the problem or issue, opening up a space of acceptance and attention to dissolve resistance and stimulate self-healing powers. Releasing existing energetic blockages will bring you into a peaceful relationship with yourself and your body. You will feel more relaxed and back in balance. If you are ready for change, to take responsibility for your situation, to fulfill your life mission, then an energy healing session offers the ideal opportunity to break through old patterns and conditioning. For more information, please visit my website at kimbrigitzer.com.
This has been another episode of Community Producers. I'm Carmen Strike. If you have any show or segment ideas, send them to us. shawtv.lethbridge@sjrb.ca. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.